the mic.
Get on the mic.
Just get on the mic. Get on the mic, Mike.
Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to a new episode of Get on the Mic. This is a segment where it's just me, a microphone, some notes, and talking about some things that happened during the week in the world of entertainment and just anything else I want to talk about. Today on the program, we're going to be talking about first, my really bad day at work. Next, we're going to be talking about an update of the AMC versus MoviePass battle. Also, we'll be talking about the fourth Avengers movie, Superman's Mustache, and TV and movie studios releasing too much of their products before they come out. First, let's talk about my job. I work at a local TV station where I live, and every year we put on a toy drive. It's a really good thing, and I like doing it. It's a long day. It's a hard day because you're kind of stuck at the station. You don't really get to get away for lunch or anything. And I'm usually stuck in a room for most of the time. We're doing live shots and everything, getting people to come out and donate toys, everything. It's cool though. I'm cool with that. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about incompetence at your job. I've been working there for 15 years, and let's just say that today was probably one of the worst days I've ever had. There's something to be said about knowing how to do your job. I know how to do my job. I'm where I need to be when I need to be it. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. We all make mistakes. I work really early in the morning. I've overslept a few times. It's happened. Mistakes happen. There's mistakes, and there's just not knowing how to do your job. Now, I'm not going to call out names and stuff. I'm just going to say in general that when it comes to working at any job that involves multiple people, you all have a part to play. And when not everyone is playing their part, things go wrong. And it's frustrating for those of us that are doing our job right, because I know pride's not the greatest thing to have, but I take a lot of pride in whatever I do. Any video I edit for this channel, anything I do at work, just especially when it comes to work, I take a lot of pride in what I do. I like to do the job right and do it well. So today, we had to do a lot of live shots. We collect toys in the front of our station, and then we also, this year, we're doing live shots out at a Walmart, collecting toys there as well. Not a bad idea. Catch them right out of the store, see if they can, you can coax them to, buy an extra toy or whatever. And that's cool. I'm cool with that. But when you have done the job that I do for as long as I have, which, like I said, is 15 years. I've been doing this for 15 years. And you just notice that not everyone is doing what they're supposed to do. It drives you insane. And it wasn't just me. Some of the people I work with, they take a lot of pride in what they do too. And they are in their positions when it's time to go. They're ready to go. They're ready to do what they need to do. It's just what a job is supposed to be, right? You go in there. You do the best you can. Sometimes you exceed the best you can, if you can, and you do it well. Well, today was just a frustrating day because there were people that weren't in position. They would be making phone calls out to the live shot 2 minutes before we go to it, and hey, what do you know? The equipment's not working. Things like that. And you would think, you could check that earlier and things. And it was just really frustrating to me. And like I said, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I don't want to be that kind of guy. But today, for as long a day as it is, it's just really frustrating to sit through that, knowing that you're doing the best you can, you're where you need to be, and you're trying to do everything you can to make the job, to make the product the best you can make it, and other people are effing it up for you. And there's nothing you can do about it but get mad. And I really don't like to get mad. And I got mad a little bit today. And I don't like it when I get that way. Because I just get frustrated and it just builds up. It builds up. And I really try to keep it in because, I know sometimes you need to blow. But I didn't want to do that today. I don't ever want to really do that anyway. But, there was a few times I lost my temper a little bit, and I felt bad about that. But, part of me feels I'm in the right. Because there's only so much, of people not doing their part that is hurting you doing your job. That you can only take so much. And, I'm all for goofing off at times. I'm all for having a good time. And I try to have a good time at work. At first when things were going bad, I was trying to make light of it and make jokes because, if I can keep people laughing, they won't get really mad. Well, after a while, it started to bother me as well. And, I was having a really bad day. And, after I got off, I was still frustrated, and I just couldn't calm down. It was ruining my day. And a buddy of mine asked me to do some work for him, do some graphic work for him. So I was looking some stuff up on my laptop where I had worked on some stuff for him before. I needed some logos and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there and I put my head in my hands and I'm just sitting there just shaking my head. And this is near the end of the day. It was late. I think it was about, 7 o'clock, 7:30 maybe. And, I ended up calming down for this reason. My son, who's 9, walks up to me and he doesn't ask anything. He just walks up to me. He puts his arm around my shoulder as much as a little dude can do. And he's like, "Daddy, it'll be okay." And, I instantly felt better because, having a little dude like that, just see that you're as frustrated, because I don't like to show my kids that side of me. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Perfect Daddy and I don't get angry at my kids, because it happens, because kids do things, and you know what I'm talking about, especially those of you that are parents. But, the fact that he noticed that something wasn't right, Daddy just was out of it. And he just walked up, "Daddy, it'll be okay." Puts his arm around me, gives me a hug, kisses me on the cheek, and then goes back, and he was watching cartoons in his room. And, for as hard of a day as it was, for as bad of a day it was, probably one of the worst days I've ever had. And I've had some bad days at work. Because, when you're dealing with people that don't do their job, it's just frustrating. But at the end of the day, it's just a job. And we can only do the best that we can do. So even if people aren't pulling their weight on people aren't pulling their own weight, do your job. And just do it the best you can, and that's all you can do. And you know what? Those of us that work hard and try hard and do the best we can, we're the ones that are going to be around for longer. We're the ones, I look at my 15 years and think, well, I know I've put up with some crap, but I'm still here. I've outlasted the stupid. So anyway, that was my day at work. I could elaborate more, but I don't want to be mad anymore. I want to have fun. I'm done being mad, and I want to have some fun. So we're going to talk about a story that I had a little bit of fun with last week. If you didn't listen to last week's Get on the Mic, I kind of took AMC to task for their thoughts and feelings about MoviePass. And I also said last week that I contacted AMC and MoviePass asking them, about this rumor that AMC is going to stop carrying MoviePass on January 1st. Now, I never heard anything back. And that being said, someone sent me a message that someone else had contacted AMC. And this is what they had to say. The person asked, at AMC Theaters, what's the truth? Are you going to stop taking MoviePass January 1st? Customer service says one thing. Then I see another thing in Twitter saying that's not true. I just want to know. And AMC Guest Services, and this is the official AMC Helps Twitter account, said, thank you for checking, but this is not true. We will not stop accepting MoviePass on January 1st. I will say this. I'll believe it when I see it. Because they could just be told, lie through your teeth. Is that the truth? I don't know. But I'll believe it when I see it. I think MoviePass, this is the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is that this is a lie from AMC and they're just going to drop it anyway. But I can tell you this, the worst case scenario, people will turn their back on AMC, like I mentioned last week. I think they will. They will look for other theaters to go to. They won't stop going to the theater. And if AMC is their only choice, they'll wait for video. Now, I'm not saying everyone will, but those, especially those that decided to do MoviePass, especially those of us that were doing it before it was $10 a month. Yeah, it's just like Netflix, right? We're getting it for cheaper, more for less. That's the way this country rolls, man. More for less. If we can get more for less, and especially quality more for less, because chances are, if you see as many movies as that you can see with MoviePass, you're going to see some good ones. You're going to see some crap too, but you're going to see some good ones. Just like Netflix, man. You take a chance on their shows or whatever movies on there. You know what? You only pay $10 a month or $11 a month, whatever Netflix is now. You pay that and you take chances. I've watched some crap on Netflix, but I've also seen really good stuff on Netflix too. So, I don't think people would forgive AMC if they drop MoviePass now. And again, I think it's because, like I said, it was sour grapes, man. AMC was just wham. Someone thought of it first. Man, why didn't we think of that? Well, we should do it. We'll drop them and we'll do our own thing. Well, I don't think people will like that. It's not like, yeah, certain companies have taken their stuff off of Netflix, and they are starting their own thing like Disney, but they're not trying to shut Netflix down, right? Amazon has a streaming service. HBO they're just trying to be the new TV, right? But AMC wants to shut Netflix down because they're crybabies. And if this is true, that their statement saying that they will keep accepting MoviePass January 1st, they're doing the right thing. Now, they're only doing the right thing because they have to, not because they want to, but at least they're not being totally stupid and alienating every single subscriber that MoviePass has probably signed up since they went to $9.99. Like I said, there was a few of us that were dealing with it when it was 30, 40 some bucks a month. $10 a month, especially for a guy like me that reviews movies, it's fan-freaking-tastic. I love the fact that I can see a bunch of movies for $10 a month. I don't feel so bad seeing that 50 Shades of Black. Yeah, it may suck, but hey, technically I probably got it for, less than $1 a ticket, by the time I get done. So, That's the update on that. We got about a month until we find out, whether or not that guest services are lying through their teeth or if they're actually telling the truth. Like I said, either way, they're only doing it because they have to. Next thing we're going to talk about is the fourth Avengers movie. The trailer finally dropped for the third Avengers movie, the first of the Infinity stories with Thanos and everything. And boy, did they drop some plans on the public about what's going to happen after the fourth Avengers movie. They're saying that the fourth Avengers movie will end the MCU as we know it. I had a feeling this was going to be coming. And honestly, as much as I've enjoyed watching Marvel do this world building thing ever since Iron Man came out, I think that it needs to change, because as much as I've enjoyed their world building and they've done it the best, saying that they've done it the best is the problem. Now everybody wants a shared universe. DC wants a shared universe. They wanted to do the dark universe with the Universal monsters. You've got the Conjuring universe, which at least, most of the movies in that have been good, minus Annabelle. At least the newer Annabelle and the Conjuring movies are really good. And they're a series. I wouldn't call them a universe, even though they've called them that officially. Everyone wants a universe now. And it's kind of Marvel's fault, because Marvel did it so well. And I'm not going to say all the movies were fantastic, but, a lot of them were entertaining, at the very least, if not wonderful movies. So, they're saying things will change. I think it's the smartest thing they can do. They haven't announced exactly what they're doing, but they did announce that there is going to be 22 movies over the next 20 years. 22 movies over the next 20 years. So it looks like, there might be a couple years that they're going to have 2 movies, but most time it looks like there's only might be 1 movie a year. Granted, I think this might change and they'll add more, because I can imagine that Disney likes the revenue of 2 Marvel movies a year, especially when they do well, like, say, the last Thor movie did. What I want to see in these movies, I want to see team-ups. I want to see smaller stories and team-ups. Things like, as much as I like the Guardians movies, I want to see a Rocket and Groot movie. Just Rocket and Groot. I want to see things like, we've kind of seen Captain America and Iron Man, and granted, they're probably, those 2 guys aren't going to be there, or at least it's not going to be Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. They're probably done, man. They're going to die in the movies. They're going to die heroically in the movies, but I think they're going to die. I think Sebastian Stan will be the new Captain America. I don't know if Don Cheadle will become Iron Man. I'm not sure how they'll do that. But, they may do the, what is it, Ironheart? I haven't read those comics, and I can't, is her name Riri, I think? The new woman Iron, they didn't call her Iron Woman. It was, like I said, I think it was Ironheart. They're going to be making changes like that, but I want to see, like, team-ups of Hulk and Spider-Man. Just cool things like that. I wouldn't mind seeing a Thor and Doctor Strange movie. Granted, like I said, we don't know who they're keeping, so it's kind of hard to know what's going on. I'd love to see, a Scarlet Witch and Vision movie, and you could even make it like a romantic comedy or something. Just things like that. I want to see fun movies like that. I think that's a smart way to go, because the more and more that they tack on to this overall story, the more complicated it's going to get to keep everything straight. And if they turn it into what's essentially kind of a comic book form, where you would just bring two heroes together and do a cool movie with them, or they would do a cool book, and they're going to do the same thing with movies. I think that's awesome. You could have smaller stories. And also, before I go on, I don't know if this counts the Sony stuff or not, because I think they were saying that the Sony stuff other than Spider-Man isn't in the MCU, so it probably doesn't count that. And here's the crazy thing. These plans will probably change, because what if, the Disney Fox thing goes through? Or just what if Fantastic Four goes back to Marvel? You better believe they're going to do a Fantastic Four movie, And think about this. You're going to get a Hulk and Thing movie. You know what I mean? There's just so many different variables. And I think if they're just smart, and you could have cameos here and there, I think that would be kind of cool. But do, 2 or 3 hero team ups, together. I think that is the way to go. And I have a feeling that's what they're going to do. Especially, I think that Thor Ragnarok was kind of a test run for that. Having the Hulk in Thor's movie, and just kind of see how people gravitated to that team up feel, and of course people loved it. So I have a feeling that that's going to be the way they're going to go. And one other note about the Avengers trailer that came out, man, people are making so much fun of Thanos. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I like the character of Thanos in the comics, and when he showed up at the end of the Avengers movie, and then he's shown up here and there. I've liked him, especially when they cast Josh Brolin, and you got to hear his voice as him, and it just works. I'm not sure what I think of the makeover. I'm willing to be a little forgiving, because I kind of wish they would have kept him in the outfit, because it's like, why is he doing this? Why is he not wearing the helmet? But I was just like, you know what? I'm going to reserve judgment. And yes, seeing things like someone did a Homer Simpson rendition of him, where come on, you look at that, around the mouth and the jaw and everything, and they colored it like Homer Stubble, and then they colored him yellow. It's funny, man. And I get it. It's funny, but I think the story they're going to tell with Thanos, and with Josh Brolin being Thanos, I think it's going to make up for that. I think people are going to forget about that real quick. I mean, as much as I love Oscar Isaac, we all know that, and honestly, I don't think it was his fault. The whole X-Men Ivan Ooze thing with Oscar Isaac. This is not that. You can make a meme out of anything. And I think that especially when Thanos shows up, honestly, he's probably going to kill someone right away. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe it'll be a big shocker. A lot of people think it's going to be Hawkeye. I think that's too much of a gimme. I have a feeling he's just going to croak somebody like instantly, take somebody out. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be unforgiving, and it's going to be quick. The person's not even going to be able to put up a fight. They're going to go out like a punk. And I hate saying that, because they've been building up all these characters, and it probably won't be a big major character, but, they're going to go out like a punk. Then they'll try to fight, but Thanos will just rip them a new one. And people are going to forget real quick about this whole outfit thing. And, like I said, I like Josh Brolin enough that I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Because, I don't know why they made the change, and maybe that'll come out after the movie comes out. But, man, that trailer looked really good. And hearing Josh Brolin, drop the line about, this puts a smile on my face, Thanos is just that cocky of a character, and Brolin, his voice, he's got it. I think he's got it, and I think we're gonna forgive the look when he starts croaking heroes left and right. I think they're going to lose a lot of heroes in these movies. I mean, they haven't killed a lot of people, in these movies. So I think we're gonna see some people die, and it's gonna be pretty heartbreaking. And I think Josh Brolin is gonna pull off the villain that we are afraid is gonna be generic, but I think he's gonna do what none of the others could do before, and that's take out some of our favorite heroes that we have been following ever since Iron Man 1. And I, for one, look forward to it. Next thing I want to talk about, and I mentioned it earlier, Justice League's been out long enough. I'm not worried about spoilers now. Superman's mustache. Let's talk about that soup strainer that Henry Cavill had to have covered up. First of all, okay, I want to see the unaltered footage. I want to see him being filmed with the mustache as Superman. I can imagine that will be one of... I mean, I know people have been making memes and putting fake mustaches on him and everything. No. I've seen the picture of him with the mustache. I want to see that mustache. I think it'd be amazing. But here's an update on that. I talked about how I would have solved it last week, where I would say, put a beard on him, and that, that would work. So an interesting story. The Warners offered to add facial hair for Paramount. They said, look, we can do this. We have the technology, right? We can do this. And they took footage from Justice League and put a beard on Superman. Put a beard on him, like a full beard. And they sent the footage to Paramount saying, look, if you let him shave off the mustache and be the Superman that everyone knows, we will do the work for you. We will put the mustache, beard, whatever, on Henry Cavill. We can do it. Here's the footage. Paramount still said no. I don't know where that stems from. If there's some grudge there, or they just wanted to say no, or that, and I have to admit, Henry Cavill's mustache looks pretty darn good. Maybe they just said, man, the real thing is so amazing, we don't want him to lose it. I don't know. But they said no. And, the fact that the Warners had to spend the money that they spent to get rid of it, and it looking as bad as it did, it was a no-win situation for them. But at least they tried to offer up a solution, and oddly enough, and I shouldn't be surprised about this, it was similar to my solution, even though they were offering to do it for MI6 and not Justice League. But I thought that was an interesting story that the Warners actually offered to do that for Paramount. It probably would have cost them the same, if not more. I don't know. I don't know how much Henry Cavill's in Mission Impossible 6. Because of course it's not out yet. So, and who knows if because I don't think Jeremy Renner is coming back for that. If I remember hearing that, or I could be wrong on that, but I could have swore I heard he's not coming back. So, he could be the new Jeremy Renner character. I don't know. Look forward to it though, especially after Man from U.N.C.L.E. I look forward to see him doing more spy stuff. But yeah. So yeah, the Superman mustache story. Yeah. Another little update on Justice League that I just remembered, and I forgot to put it on my notes. A couple things about the Zack Snyder cut that people are wanting to see. First of all, apparently the cut that they have out there, it may not be totally complete, but apparently it's close to 3 hours long. 3 hours long. Okay, Justice League, just so it could fit more in the theaters, and it still didn't do what they wanted at the box office, just so they could fit it in more shows. The Warners wanted that thing cut down to 2, and of course, you could tell, but 3 hours long. That's a lot of story. That's a lot of this could have happened, this could have happened, this could have happened. I'm guessing Green Lantern was in there. There was just so much that we're missing, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like a link, I think, to the petition or something. But Zack Snyder liked it. So there's that. Like I said, I hated to see him leave how he left. I wasn't the biggest fan of him being the Justice League director. I'm still sad we didn't get our George Miller Justice League. But I still would like to see what he had to offer, because I didn't hate Man of Steel. I thought people were a little too harsh on it. Yeah, there was some stupid stuff in that movie. But, I mean, some of the stuff people were complaining about, I think, was really warranted. But yeah, so, Zack Snyder's out there, liking, people's links to petitions, and Superman has a mustache, and there's a 3-hour cut of Justice League out there. So, that, yeah, that's a thing. Lastly, I want to talk about movie and TV studios releasing too much stuff to the public before they bring out said product, movie, show, whatever it is. This has always bothered me. And being that I go to as many movies as I go to, I see all the trailers. I've been pretty lucky on some, and I'll talk about that in a bit, but I see all the trailers. And then there's the internet with their stupid freaking clickbaity stories that they're clickbait. Darn, man, do you know they're clickbait. But, man, do you want to click on them because, man, you just can't wait for, XYZ movie. All right, whatever. Well, it's coming to a head for me because the last a couple years ago, and starting a couple years ago, I went on some internet fasts near when new Star Wars movies are coming out. I, of course, am a big Star Wars fan. Y'all know this. The first Get on the Mic, I defended Jar Jar Binks. So if you haven't heard that, check out the first episode of Get on the Mic, because the Star Wars books that are now canon made me defend Jar Jar Binks. So yeah, and another thing that bothered me was, first it's Star Wars. The Punisher did this too, the Punisher show. Okay, and I'll start with that because it was first, and since Star Wars hasn't come out yet. The Punisher show teased people for months, not giving them a release date. We knew it was coming, but they wouldn't give a release date. And of course, they had to delay everything because of the mass shootings and everything. But they tease us with a release date, tease us, but then they give it to us. It was good marketing. I enjoyed the marketing. They finally gave it to us, had people guess and everything like that. That being said, not 3 or 4 days maybe before that show came out, they kept releasing clip after clip after clip after clip after clip. And yes, at least they were short clips. I think they only released 2 trailers for that show. I know they did 1. And I understand wanting to give people a taste of your show. You wanted to get them excited. People were already excited for that show because you teased us with the date. They did it perfectly. They were making it classified like it was a military thing. And of course, that first season of The Punisher, and I'm sure future seasons, have the whole military angle. But they just kept releasing clip. Man, I was getting pissed. Because you just have to stop. I mean, I follow that stuff on Twitter and on like Facebook and stuff because I wanted to know when it come out. I try not to click on as many things as I can. Sometimes I fail. Most times I pass. But when they're doing the stupid freaking autoplay videos that you can't stop, at least I don't know how to stop them. I can turn off the sound. I figured that out. Just got a new phone today. I had to. Long story, and I don't want to talk about it. Added to my stressful day. And I had to figure out how to turn off stupid autoplay videos, because every time you scroll down, you thumb down a Facebook page, every time it passed a video, it just automatically play it, and you could hear it, and it making me mad. But yeah, so Punisher was doing this, and other shows have done this. Now, some didn't bother me, but I have to lump these in, even though they don't bother me. Shows like Stranger Things and things like that. I haven't watched that show. I plan to eventually, but the fact that I didn't watch that show, nothing's going to make sense to me if I see it anyway. And I don't watch the trailers unless they're right in front of me and I can't stop, like it's on TV or something, But the one that's really getting my goat is Star Wars. When Episode 7 was coming out, I watched the first trailer because I wanted a taste. I wanted just a little taste, the one where Finn pops up. I seen that, and I saw little bits and pieces here and there just by accident. But they did a really good job with that one, because they didn't release a ton, unless you were tracking down like the Japanese trailers and things like that. You weren't going to see a ton of stuff for that movie. But for this one, for The Last Jedi, which, let's just say I'm seeing it soon. They first did really well. They released the teaser, the one where Rey falls down and, Luke's teaching her stuff. That should have been it. But now, this last few weeks, and of course this month, they're going to be doing all the talk shows, and I can't remember who had all of them on tonight. And just all this, they're releasing little clip. Oh, here's spoilers and all the things on all the websites, all the clickbait. Man, it's just getting old. And I have no problem staying off the internet, right? Whenever I do my fasts that I've been doing, I feel really good. I'll be off for a week or whatever until I see the movie. And I feel really good. It's like, man, I haven't paid attention to any of that crap, right? I've set some uploads or something. I need to upload some videos or something. But other than that, I stay out the Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And, but it's just getting tougher and tougher. Because, man, especially for doing this segment, I got to look stuff up. I got to have information. I don't want to talk to you guys and not know what the hell I'm talking about. So, all this stuff that they're releasing, little clips here. Oh, look, here's these toys. These toys give away a secret. We talked to Mark Hamill, and he had this to say about the possible twist. All this stuff. Damn, people. I mean, I want to know too. But don't you want to know when you see it in the theater? I mean, one of the last times I remember a big twist happening in a trailer for a movie I cared about, man, I can't remember the name of the movie now, but it was Daniel Craig, and it was like called Ghost House or something. And the movie showed you the big twist that he was crazy, right? And yeah, there was more to the story, but that's something you should have saved. You know what I mean? And here's a really old spoiler for you. It's like if, they would have said, in Sixth Sense, oh, by the way, I see dead people, and you might want to get that gaping hole in your chest looked at, right? And here's the thing about the Star Wars trailers. I saw a little bit. I saw the first trailer, and then I was forced to see the newest one, where Kylo saying, I can help you or whatever, and it's supposed to look like he's talking to Rey. I know it's bait and switch, man, and I'm cool with that because at least they're not showing you, because they're in different freaking rooms. So it's bait and switch. But now they're releasing stuff where Luke's talking a bunch, and it's like for F's sake, Luke didn't say a freaking word when they showed him in The Force Awakens. He didn't say one word. And now you just got him talk. Don't you think you'd want to save that wisdom for the movie itself? I mean, I have a hard enough time when I review it not spoiling things. I try my darndest not to spoil things, especially big movies like Star Wars. I give what I can. I talk about performances and I talk about, plot points here and there, but I mean, I'm not going to come right out and say, oh, by the way, Darth Vader's Luke's father. It's not true. It's not possible. It's just, do we really want to know that bad? Is Hollywood really that insecure about their movies? Do they not think Star Wars isn't going to break every freaking record? Because especially if it's as good as we're hoping it is, especially now since they gave Ryan Johnson the new 3 movie deal, he must have done a pretty good job. He must have done a good job for them to say, oh, by the way, here's the keys to 3 new, Lamborghinis. Right? Here's the keys to 3 new Imperial starships. It's do we really want to know that bad? I don't. I still get a lot of joy out of not knowing what's coming. And in this day and age, people either want to spoil it or they just want to know so darn bad that they'll spoil it for themselves. And it's just sad, man, that the magic is gone from a lot of people when it comes to movies. And then those that have seen it want to spoil it. Now, if a movie's bad, I do want to spoil it, but I still try not to unless it really makes me mad. And it's a really bad movie, like a 50 Shades of Black, or in that case, a 50 Shades of Grey. But when it comes to something that is as beloved as a Star Wars, you would think that we would still want to have the unknown. And I know the unknown also led to movies like The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. But the unknown also led to movies like Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. That's all I have for this week. For Get on the Mic, I hope you really enjoyed it. I enjoy doing this so much. I enjoy just sitting in front of this microphone and talking to you guys about just what I'm feeling, man. And I hope you guys enjoy this segment a lot. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Till next time, I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino.